we are in the morning at Antietam. This morning, Lee has placed Jackson's command on his right, and Longstreet's larger corps is stretched out to the north. McDowell has Burnside waiting before the southern bridge. Later in the day, when he gets the signal, he'll hit Jackson's men. Let's draw some chits and get a move on. Jackson's artillery opens up. With deadly accuracy, it drives the Union artillery off the hill. Longstreet's artillery opens up on Porter's men. With no effect. Longstreet reinforces his left flank. Combat on the Union right. Heavy losses on both sides. Hooker's assault fails. And now it's turn 2. It begins with Mansfield's 12th Corps entering the East Woods. Union artillery opens up on Jackson's artillery, throwing it into disorder. The Union artillery across Antietam Creek fires on Jackson's artillery, throwing it into confusion. In a bold move, Longstreet moves his bags up and unpacks them. After the failed Union attack on his left, he feels confident he can hold here. With his bags unpacked, he's able to rally his artillery. Feeling that the day is beginning, Southern Command breaks up breakfast and coffee, and they head out to manage the battle. Longstreet sends a request to Stuart for a little cavalry support. John Porter, the Lion of Antietam, occupies the sunken road. Jackson also unpacks his bags and rallies his artillery. Hooker sends Doubleday's men for one last effort to turn the rebel flank. And Sumner brings his men forward to support any success. Turn 2 combat. Once again, there's combat on the Union right. At some cost, the exhausted Southerners are driven off the hill. Turn 3. Franklin's 6th Corps will be arriving. It's late morning, and Mansfield's men charge the West Woods. Franklin's Corps arrives, and McDowell sends them around to the west to replace Hooker's exhausted corps. Union artillery in front of Burnside fires on the Southern troops, putting them into some disarray. And Sumner's corps races over the hill, pressing the attack. Getting Longstreet's message, Stuart comes alive, and his cavalry races towards the flank. And now Burnside releases the dogs, as does John Porter. Jackson places his artillery south of Sawmill Road to play havoc on any Union troops that might make it through his lines, and then he sends his best division forward. Longstreet sends Walker north to protect the bags. It's late morning combat and the whole line lights up, starting at the Rohrbach Bridge. It was close, the fighting was bloody, but Jackson's Iron Brigade held. John Porter's attack on Longstreet's men. Anderson's men, supported by grape, throw back John Porter's drive, all but destroying his corps. And Hood's Texans defending in the West Woods. And Mansfield suffers the same fate as Porter. Sumner's drive on Longstreet's left. And now we go to turn 4, lunchtime. And Smith continues his wide move. John Porter combines his forces with Mansfield. Longstreet strengthens his line. His artillery fires on the Union artillery, silencing it for a bit. Jackson holds. Stuart's cavalry observes from the high ground. Burnside unpacks bags, and he attacks with his 2 other divisions. Now the way this works, Rodman's division couldn't attack D.H. Hill because he can't get half his unit wide between Jackson's division and the Antietam. So he's actually placed like that. He's supported by Wilcox. And Sumner's corps continues the drive. We'll begin with the attack across the Rohrbach Bridge. And Jackson's troops fall back, and Longstreet's corps in front of the bags. Sumner's drive is bloodily repulsed. It's now turn 5. Franklin's 6th Corps arrives and deploys. Jackson's men attempt to drive back Burnside's troops. Seeing as it's quiet in front of Sharpsburg, he sends a detachment into the flank of the Union. Sumner brings up his bags and deploys them. Longstreet's line rallies. Stuart has a plan. He's going to ride around. Mansfield rallies his corps. Burnside pulls his men out of a bad position. Union artillery fires at the troops on the hill, driving them back. Hooker rallies Doubleday. He unpacks his own bag. Everyone rests in the midday sun. They have some sandwiches. And now it's late afternoon. Turn 6. Oh, last turn I forgot to bring on AP Hill's division. So they come racing on. Burnside's troops recover. His artillery fires at the Confederates up on the hill. To no effect. John Porter rallies his troops. And the Union artillery fires at Longstreet's artillery. With heavy results. Franklin's men charge. Mansfield's men charge. Everyone's charging this turn. The remnants of Sumner's corps charge. The last of Hooker's men, Doubleday division, charges. Stuart's cavalry charges up the center. Longstreet has the artillery recover. Anderson's division prepares to back up the line wherever it fails. Jackson supports Stuart's attack, and he steadies his line. A.P. Hill's division adds its weight to the center. Starting with Hood's Texans in the West Wood. Sumner's men capture the West Woods and Hood's Texans are driven back. Now we have Walker defending right in front of the Bags. The combat is intense but indecisive. Who can get to the Bags first? Franklin's attack is thrown back, but there's nothing left. And now it's turn 7. Let's look at this. The South have only lost 2 blocks. The North have lost 9 blocks. The North breaks at 11 blocks. That means 2 more blocks, and the North breaks. The South is still very strong, but here are the Bags. Can they protect the Bags? Can the North capture the Bags without losing 2? Can we say tense? Now there's going to be some rolls to alter turn order. Turn 7, early evening. Mansfield is drawn, but he has nothing left. He has no command. Union artillery fires on the horsemen. Not without effect. Pleasanton's cavalry finally moves up. Now at 6th Corps. Longstreet will try and jump ahead. A 6. That is failure. No one else is near enough to affect it. Lee is back here in town. He's out of command range. Franklin sends in Slocum's corps, and they capture the Bags. What this means is at the beginning of the combat phase, before any combat is fought, Bags are in contact with the opponent, they are destroyed. That is what has happened here. The Southern Bags are captured. They can do naught but retreat. With the Bags captured, Lee must fall back and yield the battlefield to McDowell. But in a similar situation to history, people will say, look, the Union got its patootie kicked here, and the South retreated in good order. Nevertheless, McDowell holds the field. You be the judge. This was one of those victories where the Union paid heavily for the victory. But of course, the critical note here is the Union can replace these losses easily, quickly, overwhelmingly. Lee cannot. Good game.